Good evening. The comic books presented both yesterday and 2 years ago would, if this was a normal situation in my line of work, be but self-contained instances of the strange and fantastic. But by now, you should know that there is no such thing as normal in the Twilight Zone. Throughout the first 8 issues of Dynamite Entertainment's Twilight Zone comics, we have caught a glimpse of Ben Chambers, a private investigator who was down on his luck. He wanted to become a private investigator so that he could make a difference in the world, to help people, to make people's lives better in some way. But at this point in his life, he doesn't believe he has done such a thing. He's getting older and the cases have dried up. His girlfriend is working a job as an exotic dancer, one she does not particularly enjoy, but has to do it to earn money. The little money she does earn, at least, to help pay for the motel the two are living out of. However, the two are very much in love, and she reassures him that even if there is nothing more to their existence, she's happy to be with him. Unfortunately for Ben, that's not enough. He is hired by corporate CEO Jason Black, the last in a long line of investigators and detectives who have been trying to solve a crime for years. Jason's son, John, was an Iraq war veteran who also only wanted to make the world a better place, but he actually could do so. He spoke out against the war, gathering a following and inspiring others. He was the kind of man who gave hope to people. Until one night, after a rally, John ran after a mugger who assaulted one of the people at that rally, and was shot for his trouble. A promising, inspirational man cut down in the prime of his life over a purse with $15 in it. And the more Ben puts himself into this man's life and situation, the more he actually travels to that point in history. He decides to change things, to alter history however he can to save this inspirational man, and he fails each time. A discussion with our previously mentioned Mr. Wilde reveals that this sort of thing requires a balancing of the scales, as it were. If John doesn't die, someone else has to. At first, Ben considers the possibility of trading one of the other people for John's, but quickly concludes that no one else deserves to die just to satisfy such a thing. And as he interacts in casual but meaningful ways with the other two protagonists of The Way In and The Way Out, he wonders if there is any difference to be made, how cruel this world is, and how he could never hope to achieve anything, until he finally gets one last chance: the way back. And he puts up a valiant effort to keep everyone alive, ultimately resulting in saving John's life by sacrificing his own. He finally got to make a difference, words he manages to get out before he dies. But of course, Ben is proven right that one man can make a difference in a different way. John Black, motivated by Ben's final words, the mumblings of a complete stranger who saved his life, result in a lot of change. Suddenly, a greedy executive is rejected from joining a firm and ends up in a coffee shop. And the woman who was supposed to be in that coffee shop finds a new opportunity thanks to an organization founded by John Black, an education that lands her in her own executive position. And John himself goes to Iraq to help in reconstruction efforts, meeting a young boy who will not grow up into someone who carries a nuke into Manhattan. And all thanks not just to John Black, but to the private investigator who saved his life and made a difference. And Mr. Wilde, who also helped set these events in motion, relays to his own employer that the second chances given have resulted in some net good. And who is that employer? A man in silhouette referred to only as Mr. S. A man who smokes a cigarette as Mr. Wilde congratulates him on being back in business. Second chances are this place's calling card, a business motto that has endured for many decades now, whether people realize it or not. Just the continuing mission statement of a little company known as the Twilight Zone.